What is going on, everybody? Bobby Fi, Eric Sheets-Haber. We're going to be talking about today's big MLB slate. Not much of a day yesterday for DFS purposes wise. Got some practical stuff taken care of, which is good. And had the fun game last night, and really impressed by Denver. And I'm interested to see what happens in the Game 7. I feel like Denver should have won this series by now, but it's we'll see. They're again massive underdogs for going to Game 7, and I don't exactly know why. I don't know what anybody's seeing that's made them massive underdogs in this series. So I'm excited about that one. Sheets, how was your day? And then we'll jump into today's slate.
Yeah, I had a good day actually in DFS yesterday. Got second in the Monster and FanDuel. We just had the afternoon slate for Tampa and Toronto getting there for me. And then also got cash in the two bigger buy-ins on DraftKings also. So hopefully that's going to make up for what's looking to be a disastrous golf tournament. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I actually had a lineup that was in like ninth going into today, but you know
that.
It's rough out there. So we'll see what happens at the end of today. Who survives this cut? What? But the big sweat is my Max Homa win bet right now.
That's the crazy thing, man. Where did that come from? Jeez, all of a sudden he just goes off today.
Not all of a sudden, dude. We put it into the universe, you know.
That's right. No, but it looked like he kind of fell apart after a decent start yesterday, and then now he's up top of the leaderboard. I was like,
he's getting it after. He's like in fourth or something like that. He's getting
after.
Second. Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that was 90 to win like 10 billion. You know, so
yeah, that's crazy.
They were already offering me 4 times my money to cash out. I'm like, thanks a lot, bro, but no thanks. You think I'm in that one to cash out? You gotta be kidding me.
Right.
You'd have to give me first place, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And aside from that, so let me just check. I didn't really check and see what's going on with the Cubs. Looks like the Cubs are 2-1. They lost one game to Miami, it looks like. And they got now 3 games against the White Sox. So,
yep.
I think we should be able to pull one of them off at home against the White Sox. We'll see.
I would hope. I would definitely hope so.
We shall see.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to share your screen? We'll get after.
Yeah, I'll share my screen and we'll jump into it. I haven't built yet, but because
I haven't built, but I did the projections.
Yeah. And there's a lot of weather today.
Oh, okay. You want to go through that?
I'll go through it real quick. Let me just make sure. I don't know which games are on this. I mean, again, on Friday, they used to just have every game on the slate. So now let's see. Okay, so we know. So Cleveland at Cincinnati, I don't believe is on the slate. Pittsburgh at Philly, I don't believe is on the slate. So maybe there's not as much as I thought. Washington at Baltimore, that is on the slate.
Wait, so Washington at Baltimore, what is that?
That's Roth's got it yellow-orange.
Okay. Is that at Washington or is it Baltimore?
It's at Baltimore. So that's kind of a big piece. And then the other one is your area. So I don't know what you think about the. Boy, you got a lot of stuff going on. You got the Mets playing at the Yankees and the conference finals at the Celtics.
It's crazy around. Yeah,
that's wild.
It's absolutely crazy around here. I mean, it's a lot of hype for New York sports today.
Yeah, that's interesting. But the weather there, you think's okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it looks like it's just like a light rain or something. So those are most of it. So all right, so we can get after it with that information. That is again, reminder, guys, huge game for the Knicks and Celtics. We need the Knicks to win just because we don't want the Celtics in any part of this anymore. Much rather have the Knicks doing it than Celtics. So Sheets has his own rooting interest in the Knicks, and I have my own rooting interest against the Celtics. Obviously, more for Sheets than for me. All right, we can start off with your favorite guy, Carlos Rodon, and the Yankees playing against the Mets here. Against the Mets, I think you could make a lot of cases, but I didn't see a lot that I was all over in this matchup.
Well, first of all, I mean, from a slate perspective, there's a lot of different pitching options you could go with. From some high price guys, some mid price guys, some guys with upside to guys with not upside. I mean, you gotta really like who you're playing. I mean, Rodon at 10-1. I mean, I will say this. I mean, he's probably going to be like 1% owned. I mean, I can't imagine getting a share of him, honestly. A lot of better options, a lot of better matchups, just a lot of better situations. So I'm off of that one. as far as the hitting goes, I just have 5 like main teams that actually, yeah, 5 main teams I want to highlight, and this just isn't one of them. So listen, good game for the New York brand. Good series for the New York brand. But overall, just not a good DFS game for me.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I mean, this is rivalry week, so we're going to see a lot of these. This is the MLB's rivalry week thing, so you're going to see.
It's so funny. You know what? I didn't even notice it until I just started looking at the slate. It's so funny.
Yeah,
everybody's doing it. That's so, except for Atlanta, Boston, I guess.
Yeah, and because some teams just don't have like a natural exact rival, so they have to sort of figure it out. But you'll see throughout the week, it'll be all like that.
Dude, I like that. I think it's a great idea. Actually,
it's a great idea. It should have happened a long time ago. I totally agree.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for my Dodgers, though? What do we got? It must be San Diego and San Francisco coming up. I got.
Oh, so that's why it's Cubs White Sox. Ah, okay. Right.
Yeah. All right. So Washington and Baltimore, obviously closely located.
Yep.
We do have the weather concerns to worry about, and I think if we didn't, I would have some interest in the Washington side. That's I have that as one of the teams that I'm considering. So what about you, Sheets here?
Yeah. First of all, who are the pitchers in this game? So this
Povich and Mackenzie Gore.
And Gore. So I mean, I have to say they do have Gore as an option. I mean, not the top option, but certainly with my top 10. Actually, more to the point, like 10. I have him rated number 10 overall. But yeah, I agree with you. Of the 5 teams I'm highlighting in my stacks, these are 2 of them, both Washington and Baltimore. So, assuming the game is a go, I would play both sides of the hitting.
Yep. I don't know about. I'm a little lower on the. I don't like to go against Gore as much, but I do like the idea of going against Povich. And this Baltimore, the rotation, bullpen, everything has been just horrendous this season. By the way, I almost won. I forgot. I had a chance to win the one the night before, the big ones.
Oh, really?
I had a chance to win all the big ones in the NBA, and then because literally the fade and we never talked about the fade of Porzingis.
Yep. I thought you were, dude. I thought you were going to do it. I really thought that you were going to end up having it because but I couldn't. Not only talk you into it, but I was talking through the idea of playing a bunch of freaking Cornet, and I just didn't do it. That sucks.
Yeah, it was a shame because that would have the one piece that I didn't quite get enough of, and I did have the but then in the baseball I had a chance to win it with Pajes in the 9th inning.
I saw the Discord after the fact that
that would have been fun, and then of course the Dodgers come back and of course trolled me the next day and scored 19 runs last night and hit 9 home runs or whatever.
Did they really?
Yeah.
On a non-slate.
And I was supposed to go to the game, and he did it again on his bobblehead night. It was 50-50 bobblehead night, so it was a huge deal. And these bobbleheads go for a fortune, so this is like the hottest ticket in town. And of course, he comes out and hits 2 home runs, like it's nothing. It's just ridiculous. All right, Detroit and Toronto. I'm starting to sound a little bit broken record-ish here, but I am not very interested. I don't think I've found anything I'm that interested in yet. Maybe Washington is the best I've gotten so far, but I don't really like anything in this game either.
Hitting, definitely not. And again, I'm just double checking the pitching here. But Bowden Francis, he's 5,700. I mean, I will say that if you want to get up to like guys like Dodgers,
oh my God, I didn't even realize his price.
Yeah, so if you want to get up to guys like Dodgers and other, and expensive stacks, that it certainly helps to play him. I have him rated like 12th or something like that, but I don't know. There's nobody really cheap to play today, so unless you want to play maybe Chad Patrick, I have no idea. But that's the only thing I would say about this game is maybe like if you get to some of him by accident, you could play some Francis Bowden. But aside from that, I'm not getting anything here.
Yeah, just the Bowden price, but yeah, and you can also make a case for the Detroit stack. I just think there's better things to do. I just don't feel all that excited about it.
Yeah,
but I mean, Bowden Francis has been getting hit a little bit lately. Although I still think he's not going to be terrible. I just think he's really struggling right now. Tampa Bay at Miami, and I'm just gonna take a look at the total. Make sure I think the roof is probably closed. Meyer and Bradley, and I think both these pictures are decent enough to keep me off of the bats. And I have a little more interest in Bradley than I do in Max Meyer. But am I crazy, or is this projection like it just seems off a little bit for Meyer? I know he's had a couple bad outings, but it's a little bit off. Anyway, I like Bradley a little bit. And if you wanted to go large field, I think Meyer at 0 ownership is not the worst idea.
Yeah, Tampa was my hero yesterday in FanDuel Monster. We had Brandon Lau had a good game. A couple other guys had good games. It was a slate where you didn't need to do all that much, which
Right.
I think both Lows hit home runs yesterday for Tampa. Yeah, they teased me. I thought it was a second one for Lowe, but then it says Lowe hits home run. I'm like, oh, but it was the other one.
Oh.
So I like Taj Bradley a little bit here. I would say a little bit. I mean, he's right in the mix as far as I'm concerned. I have two guys at the top and then like a whole bunch of guys in the middle, and Taj Bradley is one of the guys in the middle. I sort of agree with you about the Max Meyer, or Meyer. He doesn't look that great projection wise, and I just think he's being under projected a little bit. Maybe like a point or two.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got no problem with that. And as far as the hitting goes, again, just better options out there as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and you and Goldie are more in sync. I think this is just a projection on their part on SaberSim. I don't understand why it would be this low. Like, I don't know. So I'll leave it at where it is and see if I get to any of it. I don't think I'm going to, but I think the number's a little low. All right, Atlanta and Boston. Nice 70-degree day in Boston. You got two really good pitchers, and I probably like the one who's going to be lower owned, and that's going to be Crochet. So that's the route that I would go here. That's my take here. And are we frisky enough? Probably not on a full slate to take a shot with Boston against Sale, but it occurred to me, but I'm not going to do it. I like Crochet even at the higher price tag because it'll keep his ownership down. He's my preferred of the two, but I do like both of these guys.
Little double revenge, right? Of the Sale coming back to Boston, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if SaberSim's going to feel frisky. For me, I mean, I have Sale rated number 2, but for me, maybe he's number 1. I don't know. We'll get to the other one in a minute, but I do really, really like Crochet as kind of a spend up to be contrarian play. He's just got an enormous ceiling. And if you can get to him, I think it's actually really good. Like I have him at 15% projected ownership and Sale 25. I think that the spread could end up being even wider than that.
Yeah, I think so
at
too.
the end of the day. So yeah, I agree with you. In GPPs, if I get to more Crochet than Sale, or at least the same amount of Crochet as Sale, I'm kind of chilled with that. Again, projection wise, you can't, you don't want to play either sets of bats, but if you want to play leverage and stuff, you might end up getting.
Yeah, I was just thinking about a creative little Boston revenge against Sale stack.
Yeah, exactly.
But not quite going to do it on a full set. Again, I haven't come across any stacks that I like though, particularly except for Washington a little bit. Reagans and Palante, St. Louis and KC. This feels like a spot where people are going to. It's a nice day in KC, and it's 15-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to right. It feels like a natural Reagans and KC stack is going to be popular. And the only thing I say with warning is that every time we play KC as chalk, they never get there. And Palante has been aggravating, and just that he hasn't been getting hit that hard outside of really 2 starts so far this season. So that's my warning sign. But yeah, I do think that KC makes sense and Reagans as well.
Well, but so here's something interesting. I mean, you did say wind blowing out at 15, right? So to say, Reagans with KC, I mean, you can't have it both ways. I mean, Reagans has got to be at least negatively impacted by the 15-mile-an-hour winds blowing out if we're going to reward KC for having.
Well, no, it's KC because they're facing it's a good hitter's park, but also they're facing Palante. I don't think it matters as much with Reagans because he's a strikeout guy.
Okay, but does he give up fly balls? I mean, I guess that's what you're supposed to.
He will throw some, so that's fair enough. But I mean, it's also going to right field. It's not like out to left. You know what I mean? And he's lefty, so you're generally not thinking of the opposite field power, but it does happen. So yeah, it's something to consider.
So I've as I've watched some of these games, I've had sweats in. I've had the opportunity to sweat, some players and some actual at bats and stuff, and 2 guys that two guys that just can't do anything this year. One of them, and you're going to get to them every single time you play a KC stack, and that's going to be Salvador Perez. I mean, the guy can't hit right now.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
And you know, and when you play these Kansas City stacks, because he's a cheap catcher with good metrics, you know, like long term, right? Like you're going to get to him, and it's going to be frustrating. The other guy has nothing to do with this game. I had to sweat him yesterday. Just couldn't do anything, no matter what situation. For was Anthony Santander. I mean, he hasn't had a hit like the whole season. Apparently.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the problem with playing these kind of like stacks that always look pretty good. Is you kind of, I'd say forced, but you get these guys that just are just owned and just weak links. Like that's a bad combination, you know. So yeah, I mean, according to projection, sure. I mean, they're one of my 5 stacks that I'm highlighting. But like you said, I mean, like it's a big slate. They don't ever really smash, you know. And I'll tell you this: there's the only thing you can count on is Bobby Witt being part of the winning stack. You know what I mean? Like everybody else, it's like it's just who's going to have the good games. Is it going to be Garcia? Is it going to be Pascantino? You know, Maxey, whoever else, or is this going to be the Kyle Isbell day? You know, you just don't know. So it's tough. It's tough unless you want to play a bunch of KC stacks. I think Reagan's is always in play. I actually don't have him as highly owned as you. I only have like 16% ownership.
Yeah, it's because I think they have a lot of righties in the St. Louis. That's really it, I think.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, with Crochet and like with Sam, I mean, all these guys just have big ceilings, you know. So yeah, Reagan's. I prefer to not play with the Royals if you want to know the truth.
Yeah, I would prefer not to as well, and I think they're going to end up showing up a little bit for me. I can feel that they're going to get pushed. They're going to push.
Oh my God, this is the biggest slate ever. Like we still have like 7 games left.
I know it's a massive one.
All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Friday slates. That's what happens. That's why I can be a little bit more selective. I feel like
all good.
Well, all right, Eovaldi and Lance McCullers. So that's it, huh? We just decided that Lance McCullers is now terrible after 2 starts because coming back from injury. Because the total and I think that the ownership is going to go that way. No, it's not actually. Because if it's not going to go that way, I will mention just that Texas has made me not eat my words, but they've been better than I thought they would be as chalk. And I will not be doing the 10.4K Eovaldi as good as he's looked. He's been really, really good. I just don't think that I need to pay that much. If I'm going to pay that much, I'll pay for Crochet. So maybe Texas as a long shot stack, and then Eovaldi's all I've got in this game.
Yep.
Or no Eovaldi for me. Sorry.
Yep. Pass as far as the hitting goes, and Eovaldi 10-4 is just rough business. You know what I mean? Like I just rather play other guys. I'd rather play Crochet. I'd rather play Sale. I'd rather play Burns. We'll get to him. I'd rather play a lot of guys except for him. So it's going to be low owned, I guess. But aside from that, I'm just kind of off in this game.
Yeah, and I mean his ownership looks pretty similar to Crochet's, which is kind of interesting. I think that I thought Texas was popular for some reason. I clicked on the wrong thing, but I actually think that Texas maybe as a long shot would make more sense. I just didn't want to play them as a chalky thing. All right, Joe Ryan and Chad Patrick in Milwaukee. This projection for Joe Ryan actually I thought might be a little bit higher. I like him. He's one of
the fact is one of these guys is getting 30. You know what I mean? Between Ryan and Reagan's and Crochet and Sale, or Burns, someone's getting 30. And I think these are the pitchers you have to play. Like Ryan's is probably going to project from a median perspective, not that great. But none of these guys are really projecting all that great from a median perspective. But you listen, as much as I talk about Ryan, like never doing it for me, he's obviously got the stuff to put up a big game, Yeah. But let me ask you something. Do you think that Ryan, it just doesn't feel this way, has the same type of ceiling as guys like Reagan's and Crochet, though?
I mean, I don't think he strikes out as many guys, but yeah, I think he has he's in the same category.
I guess. Okay.
But he doesn't strike out as many.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of a I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's put up bigger numbers than they have.
I know.
Um, I mean, I think he's really elite, like an elite pitcher. So I'm very high on him in general. But he has those bad games, as they all do. I think he makes a lot of sense. I think I like the idea that he and Crochet are going to be a little bit lower on. Those are probably the two that I would lean towards. I'm a little confused about why this total is so low.
What is the total?
7.5.
Yeah, the SaberSim total is 8.4, whatever that means.
Yeah, and I'd have to look a little bit further. Is there something I'm so afraid of about Chad Patrick? Like, I know he had a decent start a couple starts ago. What is going on here? Like, why is Minnesota, who's won like 100 games in a row, not looking better?
I don't know.
I'm confused by this one. I'm going to take a look at Minnesota. All right, I'll put them on my list. It just doesn't quite make sense to me. All right. Anyway, I thought they would look a little bit better. I thought they would have a higher than 3.75 run projection.
Seattle, San Diego, you getting any of this?
I think that you could. I think both stacks are in play. I'm just double checking the weather in San Diego. A little bit at 61 degrees. I think San Diego's maybe the team I would look at here, but that's pretty much it. I think they're interesting. I think they sort of fit the late night hammer thing that I like to do, because there's the Dodgers are always on it and you can always pivot to one of these teams. San Diego seems like a good team to pivot to if you're not going to play the Dodgers.
Yep.
What about you?
No, I didn't get to any of it, but it certainly makes some sense. But just as far as like projection goes, I didn't get to any of it. But I'm gonna run stuff like in a second and see what I end up actually getting.
Yeah. Well, here comes the big one. This is going to be the no 5-mans for me, but I'm assuming they're going to be significant. Yeah, we have a monster slate with this many games, and you get this kind of ownership. I can't ignore them because or Burns, by the way. But I like Burns, and the Diamondbacks have I think they're more than a full run higher than anyone except for the Dodgers.
Who's pitching for Colorado?
Carson Palmquist is who I have right here. I am not sure they've announced an official starter yet.
I mean, I see this is a 3-run difference between these two teams. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what it's got. You don't see that very often.
Yeah. So as a result, you're getting Arizona and Burns as top options, right?
Yeah.
Similar, but even more exaggerated in the Kansas City, St. Louis situation. But yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if I want to do both. I don't know if I want to do Burns and Arizona. I don't think that Burns. It's hard, it's stupid for me to say this, but I think Burns is live to be the 7th highest scoring pitcher on the slate. With a 20 somehow.
I think you think of 20s and 30s as high, as 20 is really good.
Yeah.
Nobody in baseball averages 20.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm okay with the 20. And you're right. Somebody might get 30 because we have a lot of good pitchers on the mound tonight. But I think Burns is one of them.
Okay.
But and it's against the Rockies, so that makes me feel a little bit better.
I mean, I do have him as the highest owned though as well.
And for what it's worth, you don't see the double-digit strikeout games from him as much, but it is the Rockies. He will be the highest owned, and I guess I'm just gonna sort of go to. I can't really argue against Burns or against Arizona.
Look, he's a great play. I mean, he is. Yeah. And Arizona is a great play.
It's just the ownership.
As far as construction goes, what are you going to do with it?
Right. And for me, I'm probably going to be. That's a huge projection on him. I'm probably going to be right near the field on Burns, and I probably will just make sure I don't have full 5-mans, but somehow have exposure to Arizona, at least in my hand builds. For the other stuff, I'm just gonna. I guess I might just X out the 5-mans for Arizona, because I do think you're getting to you got a couple lower owned spots, but I think you're getting into like dangerously high ownership categories for this big of a slate. That's just my take. It's just really hard to win that way unless you're playing as many lineups as everybody else is, and I never am. So,
all right. So listen. So this is splitting hairs, and I guess it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, I'm looking at these last two games with the theme that baseball's trying to do. I know that technically Oakland is closer to San Francisco or whatever, and LA is obviously closer to Anaheim.
Yeah,
it could have made Dodgers San Francisco. No,
I think that this is it's for the whole week. So it's next. I'm sure next week the Dodgers. I'm sure this week it starts today.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure that it goes to. Let me see. I bet you the Dodgers next games are against the
Gotcha.
Giants and then the Padres.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I have I have the Dodgers as the number one stack today by pretty healthy amount. I presume that they're going to be the highest owned. But maybe not. Maybe it's hard to get them like usual, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have them rated the highest by an amount that you really need to respect, you know. So I guess it goes back to my not desire, but my acceptance of maybe playing some Francis Bowden or whatever just to get to these Dodgers. But yeah, I do have Dodgers rated number one, and I guess that's pretty much it from this game, right?
Well, now I'm confused about what rivalry week is because I totally agree with what you said, and now it doesn't like the Dodgers play the Diamondbacks next, which doesn't make any sense. But all right, so I like Dustin May. He's one of there's
oh yeah.
There's 6 pitchers for me, and I like the Dodgers obviously, but it deserves like a little bit of. It is interesting. The guy who won Player of the Week last week, who's been the best hitter on the Dodgers this season, is going to be the lowest owned Dodger. You could play that. You could, I guess, Freddie Freeman and Will Smith in your stacks to get a little different, but it's going to be hard to ignore the Dodgers. Now, they did score 19 runs last night for what it's worth, and many of the players were out of the game in the 4th inning because they just it was already like 13-2. Yeah, I don't want to just play chalk, but I can't play if I'm not going to play Arizona. At least that's something I'm doing different. But I'm not ready to ignore the Dodgers as a full stack tonight. It just feels like too good a spot. And I think Arizona, you could say the same thing potentially, depending on who ends up pitching. But I think I'd rather side with the Dodgers. I would like to try and find something different, but if I don't, again, I don't have that many different things to do. Maybe San Diego or something with the Dodgers. Maybe that does enough different for me, something like that. But it's tough. All right, Cheats, how about this A's and Giants game? Anything that stands out for you here?
Yeah, I mean, I like Logan Webb here. He's definitely one of the better options this week, this day. So I do like that. And I didn't quite get to much of anything else.
Yeah, A's haven't been striking out a ton. Webb is not the highest strikeout pitcher, but I've always backed up how good he is. Like I think he's a really good pitcher. And he's been awesome lately. So I guess I have to put him on the list, but I have him just below these other guys. He's got his strikeout thing is like too lower than the other guys who are the same price as him. So I just feel like it's not quite as good of the play. Unfortunately, I think that sometimes I think Sears is, again, he's hit or miss, but he's like better than people think. Like he just doesn't get like beaten down because I want to try and find something different down here, and maybe a mini Giant stack, but can't get to a full one. I don't like that many stacks on this slate. Like my stacks I have are, Dodgers, Arizona are the chalk ones, San Diego, Minnesota, KC to get different. And then the pitching I have is May, Burns, Ryan, Reagans, Crochet, Sale, with my preferences being towards May, Crochet, and Ryan. That's what and then a little bit of Bradley or Webb would be fine as well.
So we can have a little bit of almost of a contest. So I just ran my Sims with my it's so cool. I wasn't sharing my screen because I showed for a second what I had. I thought that was showing my screen, but I guess I wasn't, so it's good. So we should almost have a contest that people can guess like who my highest owned stack on DraftKings is. Given Not what I said, but listen, those are the projections I put in were mine. I didn't make any changes, and it could almost be like a knockout pool. Like people can guess. I'm trying to think if people guess like one at a time. What's the target for what guess would actually come up with the right answer? Probably I would guess. Even if you're guessing, I would say probably like, and given that I've given you a little bit of information by saying it this way,
yeah.
Like I would say that over under it would take you maybe 4. Oh, should be more than that actually.
4? Why did you get it in 4?
Like name that tune. I think 4.5 is actually the over under.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you think? Now again, you haven't run it with my projections, so I know that whatever. There's no cheating. So 4. You get over under 4.5.
So the real trick to this question is I need to know the exact tournament you're playing in is what I have to think of first because it's going to.
Okay. No, fair enough. So I'm playing. Well, the exposure is going to be overall. Okay. That's
but it's going to be overall, but it's going to be all the lottery.
There's going to be 60 lineups in the lottery.
Okay.
1 lineup in the whatever the big buy-in is today.
888, yeah.
888, and 1 in the ball 4 and 1 in the battery.
So it's going to be mostly the. Okay, so it's going to be mostly the lottery thing. So I'm going to guess that your highest. Oh, this is tough.
And then you can do FanDuel too, except we didn't.
I didn't do FanDuel on my thing.
Yeah.
So I'm a little less familiar on that.
So how do you want? Do you want to take 4 guesses and I'll tell you if any of them are right, or do you want to go one at a time and I'll
one at a time because I want to know if I got it. Is that okay?
You want to see what order you? If you get it like number 1, I mean, then you get like double credit for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? And after the third one, if you don't get it right after the third one, I'll give you a hint.
All right. So is your highest owned?
Highest owned, just on percentage basis. Like just looking at Sabres, and let me just pull it up here for a second. So under contests, under hold on, projections, under team stacks. Okay. Yep. And okay. And I will tell you this. So it's a 2-way tie within like 2 percentage points. So we got to reduce the over under, right? But let's just see if you can get them both. Because how many times it'll take you? So
okay.
I'll even tell you the percentages. Like one is 36.5%, the other's 34.9%.
Oh, so it's still like a little spread. All right. So this is honestly,
one at a time.
Usually I have an idea. This is a tough.
And I can't tell you the pitchers that I have now because that'll give that should give.
On the 8 gamers, I can usually get him, but this is a tough one. I honestly am confused. So I'm going to guess KC is showing up as one of them.
No, I have KC 3% owned.
Okay. How about Detroit?
Detroit, I have them 0% owned.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa, I have that's 7% owned.
Damn it. Okay, so now I'm at my 4th one. Jesus, I thought I was going to get this. I mean, honestly, with the way their projections are, I would have thought, like, I was going to guess Minnesota before, but, like, I don't think that's right. The Angels?
The Angels are 4th at 19%.
Okay, so I was on to something, but what is it? What is it?
Number 1 at 36. Oh, here's my quiz. Here's my quiz. Here's my thing. I'll say, not surprisingly, but curiously, I'm not upset about having this.
Okay. Yankees?
No, but close. The Mets against Rodon.
Oh my God! I should have just guessed it, but you didn't put it. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yep. Rodon Mets 36.5%, and second is you could have gotten this one. The Braves against
Braves. Yeah.
Okay.
The Braves is the one I should have gotten. That was what I said. It was what occurred to me right off the bat.
Right, and then Baltimore next. By the way, so Baltimore actually is like legitimate, and I'm totally down with the Mets. But I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know about the weather, but it's definitely hot and humid. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It says rain. Actually, it says rain coming in an hour, so I don't know what that means for later. But Rodon just loves giving up those home runs, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And I don't know if I'm actually going to get that later, but these are the types of stats I like to get to running the Sims, not the ones that are just direct freaking leverage against the obvious best pitchers, but just kind of like random stacks that you're like, oh yeah, I forgot they were playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like guys like that. So I do like Baltimore, weather permitting. I do like the Mets, weather permitting. So and then Washington, I have them too. So we got to watch the weather for both these games, like the Mets, Yankees, and Washington, Baltimore.
Yeah.
The other thing I will also say about this game is that if they can play it, I mean, it's incredibly sold out to say the least. So they'll play it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's what I think.
I think you're probably right. And they'll probably have everybody on their laptops or whatever watching the Knicks game.
Right. And then FanDuel. Let me just see what I have, just for the hell of it. I'll just say what I ended up with. It's the same slate, at least, right? Yeah, there's no difference in slate. And I'm getting – I'll go back to my pitching for a second. Hold on. For pitching on DraftKings, I imagine – I'm not going to imagine anything. I think I'm probably going to get the chalk if I was ending up with the Mets stacks. So let me just see what I'm getting as far as the pitching goes. Pitching, yeah. So Sale and Burns. Sale and Burns, because I'm going a little bit different with the hitting.
Yeah, it definitely is different. Atlanta's what it gave me the most of when I just ran it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna roll with that.
No, I don't think so either. So FanDuel, pitching wise, Sale, like 60%, and stack exposures there. See, you were one side away. 42% Minnesota.
42% Minnesota. That's
Yep.
I'm telling you, these Twins are super cheap. And I know Buxton and Correa might be out, but like I don't know. That could be something to do.
I have a question actually. Who is Dalton Rushing?
Yeah, Dalton Rushing. We just called him up. Got his first hit in the major leagues last night. Had to send our guy Austin Barnes down. He's been terrible for years, but we all like him because he's been a part of our championship teams. And so Dalton Rushing's our new catching guy.
I have something to mention to you about the Twins.
Sorry, a new prospect. Excuse me.
I have something to mention to you about the Twins because I noticed this because the guy did well for me yesterday, but he got taken out of the game. Buxton got hurt yesterday.
Yeah.
And he's listed as day-to-day in the lineup. I would doubt he plays.
Buxton and Correa both may not play.
And I have Harrison Bader day-to-day too. So watch that lineup for sure.
Yeah. For what it's worth, the Twins have won like 700 games in a row. That's the only reason why I think they might do everything. Like they're at like 11 or 12 in a row, which is pretty rare. So I think that if anybody's able to play, if they pass the concussion thing, I think they'll play.
Oh, is that what it is? It was a concussion thing?
I think he and Correa are both in concussion protocol. Did they crash into each other? Was that might be how they got hurt?
It could be. I'm not sure. And we have Ty France day-to-day.
Yeah, but he's not really like a thing.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just reading it from.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's
not a thing, but who's going to play instead of him if he doesn't play?
He's not like an everyday. Like he doesn't play necessarily every single. I mean, they're weird. Remember how they play baseball like it's the playoffs all the time.
Oh,
okay.
They
do that weird like that right. And they play these guys are going to play 4 innings and those guys are going to. That's why they're always tough to play as chalk. But still got some good bats in there. Well, they still got some. I've got Ty Francis that's projected to be in as of right now, but we'll see. He's been playing every day. I shouldn't say he's not, but they will run some weird switcheroo stuff.
So here's an interesting question. I haven't run this yet, and maybe we'll talk about this later. But what are the Celtics going to do with the big mans tonight? I mean, they can't keep playing Porzingis at all, right?
Unless he got a little bit better. A lot of people are saying, I don't know where this rumor that he has AIDS started. Like that seems very strange. I think it just feels like COVID, and people keep saying long COVID. It may just be COVID. Jamal Murray, though, Jamal Murray was absolutely sick and definitely was not right and all this stuff, and he still played great last night. So you never know.
Well, yeah, but seriously, I mean, like, so Porzingis, what did he have? 3 fantasy points or something? I mean,
he had like 4.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know if they can play him anymore.
Well, that's what's going to be interesting, though, is if no one plays him, I'm going to just try and take a shot. Like,
But I don't even think the Celtics can play him anymore, is what I'm saying. Like,
well, it just that's what I'm saying. But like, what if can't somebody if it is some sort of disease, your breathing can get better in a couple of days. It happens. So I'll try to scour and see what I can find out.
But like we said, I mean, like you said, it depends what the narrative is. Like if you think he's going to come in like 60% owned again, it's like
there's no way anyone's playing him unless there's like huge coach speak that he's all good and that they ran up and down and he can, I don't know, do something.
I mean, we could just go right back and play Cornette again, right? I feel like
no, it's interesting.
What do you think is going to happen? You think it goes? Do you think that the Celtics come in and win? I think the Celtics win here, actually.
The Celtics.
I really do. Listen, I'm rooting it, obviously, but I don't know.
I think well, if the Celtics win this game, they're winning the series.
Well, see that could be the hoodoo. You play a parlay, Celtics then Knicks. I mean, that's
interesting. Knicks in the Garden in Game 7.
Yeah.
I love the odds. There's a guy I know who bet 7,000 on the Celtics after they lost Game 4 with Tatum, and they at 45 to 1. 45 to 1
to win the championship. You mean?
To win the championship. Well, because if they get past this year, I mean, there's nobody indestructible. Oklahoma City is the one team everyone was afraid was, and Denver has absolutely been dominating that series pretty much. For the most part, for most of the game at least. So I think the Celtics have if they get through, like, they have just as good a chance as anybody. Anyway, so I do think the Knicks wrap it up tonight, and I'm just hoping also too that they do.
One thing I will say, according to the projections, by the way, the Saberson projections,
they're
not backing down on this Porzingis thing at all. I mean,
they're still on Porzingis.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep. Porzingis in the captain. Porzingis everywhere.
Maybe there is some coach speak or something that I haven't heard yet, but I will dig into it and see what I can find out.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, man. Well, good luck to everybody. We'll see you guys at hopefully this golf can turn around. What's going on here? This is supposed to be a major. We've got all these weird names at the top. I do like Johnny Vegas. I do like Matthew Pavone, but come on, guys, let's get real. Let's get some of the quote unquote real golfers up there. Also, these guys, it's supposed to be a bomber's paradise, and you got all these guys who barely hit the ball doing well, like Richard Bland. Richard Bland is in the mix, and Kenny couldn't come up with that one for this year. Look at this.
What's going to be the cut? +1, +2?
I think it's going to be +2. Or I'm really surprised that they even have +1. Now they don't anymore. It was like even when we started the show, it was like 40% each. And I think that it could go the other way. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you got top 70 in ties, and you're already getting into the +2 category. How is it going to go to +1? Most of the guys haven't started, and of course, it's playing over par. Keith Mitchell had a shitty day after a good start yesterday, and almost came back at the end, but he's probably going to miss now. And so there goes the chalk Keith Mitchell play. Ugh, frustrating.
So I guess I'm looking at my 44. I guess Russell Henley at +10 is not going to be looking too good, huh?
Oh, you have him in there.
I do at +10. He's only +10, but he's got 4 holes left. So you never know. And what's really, really annoying about this one is that the line I ended up playing Jaeger at 6% at 6,500, and he finished -4 yesterday. But no one else can make, like McElroy can't make the cut. Berger, he'll get there. Then who do we have here? Oh my God. I have the Norgard Peterson. He's not going to make. Yeah, I could compete for last with this one. This could be an interesting sweat.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully, let's see. Let me see where my. Please don't. I don't even want to see what this looks like.
Yeah, Mitchell's not.
Get a birdie to make us feel like we're going to be okay. I need Hideki. I've got a lot of Hideki shares this week.
I mean, the good thing about like all these guys like playing bad is that Holmes legitimately could be in the mix to win.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, if he doesn't have to beat all the good golfers, I mean, like.
Yeah, but it's funny though because Scheffler was like saying afterwards, he's like, that tournament makes no sense because you're hitting the ball. He's like, your whole life you're taught to do something, then all of a sudden because of a rule, you're hitting a ball with no idea how to tell where it's going to go or anything.
What happened? What did he say?
because they weren't letting them play preferred lies, and all these balls had mud all over them.
Oh,
So they were getting punished by hitting it in the fairway. And then some players were actually trying not to hit it in the fairway because they didn't want to have the ball stuck there, because that's what, whatever. They were saying something about the way that I don't know. But Xander said it was a punishment to hit in the fairway, and then Scotty was like, yeah, it felt like you're just totally blindly guessing. You have no idea where the ball's going to go every time you hit it. And he still finished 2 under. Like he's probably going to shoot like 7 under today and be in first by the end of the day.
so who's having the best days to like Spawn? I mean,
Nobody's having a better day than your guy is than Homa.
Homa.
Yeah,
Spawn is -4 for the day.
Spawn, Homa, and no, Pavone.
Right.
Pavone at 6.
Bryson's he's doing very nicely. He's -3.
Nice 3 under. He maybe picks up 1 more. Rory's gonna have to fight to make the cut, but I think he's going to. Like, what is he at?
They'll like I said, the golf gods will the golf media will get through like the rigged Mavericks, whatever you call it.
Right, but obviously, oh my God, Justin Thomas now and definitely in danger. So is Oberg, who kind of fell apart after a decent day yesterday. Jesus.
Yeah, Thomas was fighting, man. He was +5 for yesterday, and he fought all the way back, and then he just kind of gave up again, right?
Yeah, he keeps doing. This has sort of been his theme like lately. It's frustrating. But I'm glad I'm way under on him. He just happens to be in some of my better lineups.
Yeah, this is my best showdown lineup today. Is the one that only had one golfer started.
Oh God.
I have Spawn and five empties right now.
That's funny. Is this the hard? That's really weird. 18 is so tough. That's why. Yeah, it's been a wild tournament. We'll see what happens. Hopefully some magic, because right now it's not been my dream.
No, it's the magic has been. Close your eyes and make my bankroll disappear. Like, that's the magic.
Right. Voila.
Voila. Exactly.
All right, man. Well, I'll see you in a few hours.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you later.
Good luck.